All right, I know we're at the tipping point for the holidays, and the tipping point can go a lot of different ways in terms of food and drink. This festive time of year is the feasting time of year. Many of you have probably already begun the holiday binge at parties with coworkers and friends, and there's lots more of that in the days ahead. Health Canada is reminding people today that some of those foods you'll be eating can carry a risk. And here to tell us what you should be aware of is our medical specialist, Dr. Karl Kabasele. Dr. Karl, I'm sure you're talking about more than just having 1 or 10 too many drinks.
Well, that's right. Today it's time to talk about food safety. And the problem here is that a lot of those wonderful holiday feast foods that we enjoy are actually what we call high-risk foods. They're high in protein, the bacteria love them, and they're temperature sensitive. And that's really sort of the underlying theme here, is that if you're serving large amounts of food, we have to bear in mind the importance of healthy temperatures for food.
Okay, what food specifically are we talking? I assume turkey, since we're looking at the turkey.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's one of them. But let's start with the cookies.
Okay.
I know a lot of people enjoy the cookie dough, the raw cookie dough. It's tasty, but let's not forget that oftentimes there's eggs in the dough, and therefore we have to be careful not to eat the raw cookie dough, especially when there's eggs involved. They need to be cooked.
All right.
Seafood. Sometimes we like a little cold, shrimp cocktail or what have you, oysters and all these things, but we got to make sure we keep them cool. Now, what we're trying to do is avoid the danger zone between 4 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. Food should never stay in that zone for more than 2 hours, and if ever you're in doubt, just throw it out. Last thing, and you mentioned the turkey. The turkey, basically, you want to make sure you cook it at its thickest point to 85 degrees Celsius. And what you're going to need for that is a probe thermometer to get right in there. No need to guess, just know exactly what the temperature is inside.
Okay, I'm not an expert on eggnog, but you worried me when you mentioned the eggs.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about the eggnog.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the beverages we enjoy, obviously raw eggs can carry salmonella. So eggnog needs to be cooked. And it needs to be cooked to a temperature of 71 degrees Celsius in order to kill off any bacteria. And if you're buying eggnog from a grocery store or farm, in the carton, make sure it's pasteurized. That means it's been boiled and all the bacteria has been killed. Same thing goes for fruit juice and cider. If you're making it yourself, boil it up before you serve it. And if you're buying it, make sure it's pasteurized, especially for the vulnerable people, like small kids, older people, people with compromised immune systems. Or
compromised judgment at this time of the year.
There is
right?
That.
It could be 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going past its prime buffet. It's been out for a while, and all of a sudden you're picking up the shrimp and...
Not such a good idea. Yeah. So that's where those, those chafing dishes, if you're going to serve hot food, you put it on a chafing dish to serve it to people, and if it's going to be out for a while, you should do that. Because again, if you leave it at room temperature for 2 hours or more, that's when the bacteria are really multiplying and they can make you sick.
Super easy to get sick. Okay, Dr. Karl, thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you.
With these holiday tips to keep us safe. CBC's medical specialist, Dr. Karl Kabasele.